Woo! Fireworks, parties, fiestas, parades. Everybody in London is so happy and so excited that we're going to the Premier League. Oh, baby! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Devotion to Promotion. This is our year-end wrap-up episode where we kind of take a look at the year that just happened, a reflection back on the past, as well as kind of some rough look towards the off-season and things we're going to try to do. And of course, the best place to start with this episode, now the season, it's May 11th here right now. The season has been over, just ended up. But our last match was about 2 weeks ago, so we've barely got into the off-season. But of course, the biggest story, if you haven't been following the club over the season, is that on the very last day of the season, we did squeak out a win of the championship. We had promotion in the bag a couple days before that, about a match before that. So of course, just by all means, a really satisfactory season for us. I think the fans are crazy. We've had some events over the past 2 weeks. But really now it's time to start looking at the future because, oh, what a mountain we have to climb now. Lots of challenges coming up. So let's kind of get started. I'm going to look at stats and stuff like that later. And just in terms of the league table, though, we did lead the league in goals for. Our defense, however, was relatively mediocre. We were below average on defense on goals allowed. So it gave up 53 goals, which was in the bottom half of the table there. So clearly something with room for improvement in the offseason, and we will need to be better defensively next year. We did lead the league in goal differential, however, which it kind of speaks to our offense. Our offense was the best goal scoring offense in the league by 17 goals. So what we lacked defensively, we more than compensated for offensively. And much of our season was spent in kind of an offensive mindset. So that was kind of we'll score 3 and you'll score 2 and we'll win type of attitude that fueled the middle part of the season in any case. But let's take a look at some of the happening since then. We'll take a look a little bit more at stats at the end of this episode. I'm going to kind of look a little bit now and then forward a couple weeks and take a look at stats at the end of the month and stuff. And when we get some more of the awards in and everything like that. But we did have some of the information come in right now. Our best 11, if we look at our best 11, where is it? It was right here somewhere. Oh, best 11. Here it is. Sorry, it took so long. We have Simon Walsh was picked as an addition to the best 11, and then Rabuanu, our midfielder, and then our left winger, Tom Ferry, who made some incredible improvement this season. Really excited that we might be able to take him and he might be able to serve us in some function in the Premier League next year. So all those 3 players will be coming with us to the Premier League. The only one that got added to the starting 11 is Simon Walsh. But if we do look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the starting 11 still on the roster, and 3 of them still playing a big role. So pretty happy about that. End of season awards, though. Let's take a look here. Simon Walsh, cleaning house. Fans player of the season, 76%. Here is the goal of the season, also by Simon Walsh. If you've been watching the season, you will recall this goal. This was, I think, a very deserved goal here. So Walsh is going to feed it up to Rabuano. Rabuano feeds it up to Alouche. Alouche taps it back, and then from 27 meters out, Walsh slots it into the right side. Not only just for the quality of the goal, but for the timing of the goal. We had a rough form, and that goal was in the 92nd minute and gave us a 2-1 lead. We ended up winning 3-1 and getting all 3 points from that match, which kind of righted our season at that point. It was almost one of those pivotal goals that kind of shifted the whole outlook of the season. Signing of the season, Dean Campbell. 27 years, we got him for a free in the offseason. He will come with us next year for the Premier League, certainly. Had a 7.29 rating, so the fans appreciative of that. And young player of the season and player of the season both go to Simon Walsh, so collecting 3 out of the 4 categories there. On an interesting note, I didn't know this happened, but we have a training camp destination. We're going to Algarve, Portugal, from July 3rd to July 10th. So I can smell an episode intro coming from there. We'll have to report back and see what that's like. I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, we've just been doing our training camps in Nuneaton. We're going to Portugal? Oh, that's nice. I hope that doesn't go to the players' heads there. And also, of course, pointing towards next season, here is our club vision. Fight bravely against relegation. Seems appropriate. We do, as I mentioned quickly in the last episode, our slotted budget now will be $400,000. We have given 27 million pounds for a transfer budget. I have no idea where this is going to come from because we only have a balance right now of 2 million. But we will sell some players too. So I don't know. I've got to kind of figure out, kind of speaking of finances and speaking of where we are and going through, it's probably a good time to mention just a rough plan. And I'd be curious to hear what people think about this. Is this reasonable or unreasonable, or where am I making mistakes here? But I have a 27 million budget, a 400,000 pound wage budget. We're spending about 140,000 right now. That'll go up to about probably 180,000 with our existing players, counting promotion wage increases and stuff like that. So we're going to have a little bit over 200,000. I want to sell 10 players. I've got 10 players we've got marked for selling. And I think we're going to need to pick up 15 to 17 players. I was also looking at the Premier League roster, and it looks like you're limited to 25 players that you can register. And I'm not quite, is that for the whole season? Because that seems like not very many. And we had 29 play this season. And I'm just kind of figuring out how that all works out. So my goal, I think, is to sign 17 players, which means we can spend about $1.5 million per player, getting them in for about 10 to 15,000 pounds per. So we're really going to have to hunt for bargains without a doubt. I mean, some of these players I'm looking at, they want 60, 70,000. We would get 3 players, and that would be our additional budget right there. So we need to really be bargain shoppers, I think, here as well. The other thing I was curious about, I was looking at the rules for the Premier League. Let me kind of flash back here to the club info. I was looking at the rules for the Premier League, and it looks like to me, I'm not sure if I won't dig them up. It doesn't really make any sense. Looks to me like you can only have 4 loans in the course of the whole season and only 2 at one time. So that caught me a little bit off guard. We will lose our affiliate relationship with Chelsea, and I already did put in 1 loan player as Malthus Summer. So it looks like we've already used one of our kind of our loans right there. And had I known there was only going to be 1, I mean, he's good. He's a good striker and everything like that, and it's going to help, and he's going to be cheap, and I think he can play at the Premier League level. So currently operating at Premier League level, it seems like a good move to have a reliable striker to come in there. But I felt like we maybe could have done a little bit better with that loan. And I will have to be really careful with how we use the other remaining loan then, because I signed him for a loan for the whole year that can't be canceled. So oops, that might have been a little bit of a mistake there. But anyway, if you do know about that, if you know about the loans and you know about kind of the roster registration for the Premier League, I'd be curious, because it's going to be challenging if we have to have all 25 players right at the beginning of the year. I mean, can we drop one and add one? How does the transfer window work? I got a lot to learn for this level. It's going to be interesting kind of learning experience, and hopefully my mistakes don't lead us to relegation, that we'll still get a fair shot at staying up. But yeah, that's kind of, we're getting a little bit lost in the woods here. Other things in terms of things to make of note here, we have both our youth and our training facilities will go up. So our training facilities should go up to 3 stars and our youth facilities should go up to 2.5. We spent 3-something million, taking our balance down to 2 million to do that. So really excited about that, because we definitely need that. And our youth level went from 4 to 3, which means something. I don't know quite what that means. I mean, it's better, I know that, but I don't know how that impacts like our gameplay and stuff like that. But other than that, I think that's kind of a start for kind of taking a look at the offseason. I'm going to pause now, kind of move forward a couple weeks, and then come back and see if we got any awards, see if our players did at awards, and then take a quick look at stats before we head to the off-season and the summer months here. See you in a couple minutes. So it's about 2 weeks in the future now. June 1st, the playoff game to see who will get promoted to the Premier League. Blackburn won that, and now the season is over, so we're getting all of the end of season announcements and awards have come in. Walsh set a record in the league for set a record for Nuneaton for 7.9 average rating. That's the highest we've ever had in a season. And other things here also, Simon Walsh wins the SkyBet Championship Player of the Year award. Well deserved with that 7.59 rating, 33 appearances, 7 goals, and 13 assists. When the 13 assists was also a club record. Continuing on with the theme of let's give us awards, Marco Rabuanu picked up the EFL Young Player of the Year, which is pretty cool. Average rating of 7.11. He was pretty good. If not inconsistent, he was pretty good. So he'd be a player that's coming with us to the Premier League because he still has a pretty big upside. Simon Walsh did get the 3rd best goal of the season, that same one that we saw as goal of the season. And Yours truly. We got the head coach of the year for the fourth time now in this series. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that kind of makes sense. We had a small budget. We won the league. I feel that makes sense that would happen. So cool that we were able to get a little bit of personal hardware there. Other than that, oh, yes, we had 4 players named in SkyBet Championships Player Select. Malthus Summer, our striker, interestingly enough, one of 2 strikers selected. I didn't see that coming. Tom Ferry out on the left side as a wing. He was really good and just kept getting better. I'm pretty excited to see. Wow, there's a lot of red. I changed the ratings. I bumped them all up one number. So, but he just had a really good year, 23 years old. He's still got some room to grow and stuff like that, operating now at a good player for most EFL championship sides. But yeah, had a really good season. 27 appearances, 12 goals, 3 assists, 7.05 rating. So we'll take him with us. Simon Walsh, of course, and then Tom Holmes, our center back and captain. 7.16 rating with 7 goals and 37 appearances for us. Was also one of 4 players on that team. So that's pretty cool. In terms of moving things along, I'm struggling to find players to bring in. I'm finding that most teams want a lot more money than I think the player's worth to sell a player to us. And we just don't have a lot of room to work with there yet. So I'm going to keep poking around. I haven't really seen anything that I think, oh, maybe one player, but he just doesn't want to sign with us. So getting a little nervous that this offseason is going to be harder than I was hoping it was going to be, because I thought maybe we'd be able to draw some talent because we're going up to the Premier League, but we'll see. However, we do have some transfers, players going out. All of a sudden it broke a couple days ago and things are looking pretty good. We got a £4.6 million offer for Aaron Rowe, who, despite being listed here as a good player for most EFL championship sides, just never really did anything for us. 6.69, just couldn't get anything going. And Hugo Sique, our starting right back, who wasn't really good this year, only slots out at a EFL 1 level. Value here is 6.6 million, but I just don't see it. We got an offer for just about 3 million, bumped up to 4.4 for him. So I think we are going to take that. And then we're trying to sell Samuel Castileo for a couple million as well, which would be nice. That'd pull in another 4, 7, 9, 9.5 million, which would be great. That's all. That would be helpful for sure. But taking a quick look at the stats, and then we'll wrap this up. If we look at the home and then the league table, just to look at stats for player detail to see how we did. Average rating, Simon Walsh, again, 7.59 as we expected. And Dean Campbell, number 2 with 7.29. Tom Holmes with 7.16. And then Marco Rabiano at 12th with 7.11. Stuart Quirk, another one of our center backs, at 7.08. So we had 5 players in the top 20 for that, which is pretty cool. Goals, we had the highest was 8th, Malthus Summer. Only had 15 goals in 31 appearances. So pretty good. Again, streaky player. And then Soliman Alouche, who we'll take with us, had 13 goals for us and come up 14th in the league. And then Tom Ferry tied for 18th with 12 goals. So that's not bad. Then if we look at some of the team stats, I'm trying to see if there's anything else here that would be interesting real quick. If we look at team stats, average salary, 5.39 million for the year. AFC Wilmington was the team closest to us at just under 6 million. And then net transfer spend, we were 12th with, we profited 3.67 million on the year. So some of the financial stuff there. So I think that's probably all we really want to dig into. We've gone about 20 minutes now, and that's probably enough. It is June 1st. We will be back at the beginning of July for Season 9, Episode 0. We'll be coming to you live from Portugal from our preseason training camp, which should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we have some new additions to the team then. I'm getting a little bit nervous that, I'm just getting a little nervous they're going to be able to find some players. Not having done this before at this level, I'm not quite sure what to expect, but we will keep working at it and keep trying. In any case, thanks so much for stopping in. Have a great day. I hope to be back on Thursday with the next episode, but this next month might take a while. I'm going to do my best to come back on Thursday. It might get delayed 2 days till Saturday, but I'm going to see what I can do. I think I can make it. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.